My girlfriend cheated. But it wasn't just a fling. She moved a married man. An abusive alcoholic no less. Into my house the moment I left. She thought I'd just disappear. What she didn't know was I'd uncover everything. And when the truth came out, their perfect little world would shatter. I was quiet then. But I'm not now. Man. It feels like a lifetime ago. But it all started at my buddy's wedding. I was the best man. Doing my duties. When I first saw her, she was the bride's sister. And honestly, I just fell. Hard. Almost instantly. It wasn't just physical, there was something about her that just drew me in. We started talking that night. And pretty soon, we were inseparable. We spent the next 2.5 years just being best friends. Sharing everything. Laughing until our sides hurt. I asked her a few times to make it official. To be my girlfriend. But she always seemed hesitant. Then, about 1.5 years ago, she finally said yes. It felt like the right decision for both of us. Like we were finally ready to take that next step. When we officially became a couple, it wasn't just her I was committing to. It was her whole world. She had a 4.5-year-old son. And his dad had never really been in the picture. So, for him, I was the only father figure he'd ever known. And I loved it. Seriously. I stepped into that role without a second thought. My week was structured around him. Monday through Thursday. While she was at school and working full-time. I was the primary parent. My alarm would go off. And I'd be up with him. Making sure he had breakfast. Getting him dressed. And dropping him off at daycare. Then, after my own work, I'd be back to pick him up. Feed him dinner. Wrestle him into the bath. And finally tuck him into bed. It was a routine. But it was our routine. And I felt like I was building something real with both of them. It wasn't a chore, it was just what I did. What I wanted to do for our family. Then, around mid-February, something shifted. It wasn't a sudden explosion, it was more like a slow, quiet fade. We just stopped having sex. Completely. At first, I thought maybe she was stressed with school or work. You know. But then the cuddling started to diminish. Too. The spontaneous touches. The little gestures of affection. They just weren't there anymore. It felt like she was physically pulling away. Even when we were just sitting on the couch watching TV. I tried asking. Of course. Hey. Is everything okay? Is something bothering you? I'd try to engage her. Get her to open up. But she never really had an answer beyond a vague "I'm fine" or "just tired." It was frustrating. I wanted to fix whatever was wrong. But how do you fix something when you don't even know what it is? It got to the point where she quit pursuing me altogether. And in return, after a while, I just stopped pursuing her too. Because it felt like hitting a brick wall. Around this time, I also started noticing some weird stuff with her schooling. She was in intermediate algebra. A class you really gotta show up for. But then her grades came in. 36%. My brain was trying to process those numbers. To get that low, you practically have to try to fail. Or just not be there. What was happening on those Monday through Thursday nights? The thought started to creep in that maybe she wasn't actually at school. Maybe those were her nights out. And the fading intimacy suddenly made a different, more chilling kind of sense. But I pushed it down. I wanted to believe her. To believe in us. It just felt like the foundation we'd built, brick by brick, was starting to get water damage. And I couldn't find the leak. I knew something was wrong. But she wouldn't tell me. And I was left just watching things slowly erode. Have any of you ever been in a relationship where you just feel it slipping away? But you can't get your partner to talk about it? How do you even begin to fix something like that when you're completely in the dark? By the beginning of May, that slow erosion I felt in February turned into a full-on collapse. We planned a trip to Great Wolf Lodge. About 3.5 hours away. Hoping a change of scenery would help. I thought, this could be good for us. A chance to reconnect. Boy. Was I wrong. The entire drive. She was glued to her phone. Not just checking texts, completely absorbed. And once we got there, it got worse. She'd just randomly disappear. It'd be with the boy. Playing in the water park. And look up. And she'd be gone for 45 minutes at a time. No explanation. No, be right back. My mind was already racing. Trying to make sense of it? Where is she? Who is she talking to? That's so important, she can just vanish from a family trip. I kept trying to tell myself it was nothing. Just stress. But that gut feeling was screaming. We got back on Mother's Day. And as soon as we pulled into the driveway, she announced she had some errands to run. She took the boy with her. Which, looking back, felt less like wanting company and more like an alibi. I mean, what kind of urgent errands do you run on Mother's Day? After a long trip. That can't wait. The next morning, the innocent, unwitting messenger arrived. The boy woke me up. All excited. Babbling about how Mommy and him went and had ice cream and met Mommy's friend. He was funny, he said, and had a big truck. My blood ran cold. Mommy's friend. With a big truck. On Mother's Day. I immediately asked her about it. She just brushed it off. Super casual. Like it was one of her female friends' boyfriends. But something in her tone, the way she quickly dismissed it, didn't sit right. My internal alarm bells didn't just go off, they were blaring. This wasn't just tired anymore. This was a cover-up. That's when I went on high alert. Every single thing she did. Every casual comment. I was analyzing it. A week later, she actually tried breaking up with me. She pulled out the classic line, "My feelings have changed." My immediate thought was, no. This can't be it. I fought back hard. I told her this was just a low point. That every relationship has them. And that we could work through it. I reminded her of everything we had. Everything I did for her and her son. She looked reluctant. But she eventually agreed to try and make it work. I remember feeling a tiny flicker of hope. But it was quickly overshadowed by that gnawing suspicion. Just a few days after that conversation, she said she needed to run to the store for a quick trip. Won't be gone long. She promised. But I saw her getting ready. She changed clothes 3 times. Did her makeup. Did her hair. For a quick run to Target. That just felt completely off. An hour and a half into her store run, I got a text grabbing drinks. That was it. My brain just snapped. Drinks. After saying a quick store run, I texted back. Hell no. Come home. Now. It still took her almost another 2 hours to get back after that. When she finally walked through the door, she tried to tell me she'd been out with her friend Christy. But Christy? I'd never heard of any Christy. Suddenly, she had all these friends I'd never met or even heard her mention. It was too much. The Great Wolf Lodge disappearances. The Mother's Day friend. The quick errands. The grabbing drinks text. The 3 outfit changes for Target. All the pieces clicked. I looked at her and said, "Prove it. Open your phone." She absolutely refused. Absolutely. Would not let me touch it. That was it. That was the moment. There was no going back. We broke up right then and there. That Friday night. I stayed one more night. Just to process. And then packed a small bag and left Sunday morning. Numb. After leaving on Sunday morning, my head was just a chaotic mess. I had to go back to the house during the week to pack the rest of my stuff while she was at work. I tried to tell myself I was just going in, grabbing my boxes, and getting out. But that gnawing suspicion, the one that had been screaming at me for weeks, wouldn't let up. Shed refused to show me her phone. After all. So, fueled by that desperation for answers, I did something I'm not proud of. But I felt I had to do. I snooped. I found her computer. Logged in. And started digging. And that's when the whole ugly truth slammed into me. It wasn't just another guy. It was a married guy. I found conversations. Dates. All of it. Not only was she seeing someone else, but Shed hooked up with a man who already had a wife. My brain was trying to process these words. These messages. This is what she was doing on those errands. This is why she couldn't show me her phone. It felt like my entire reality had just shattered into a million pieces. I kept digging and managed to figure out who his wife was. She was a hairdresser. An idea sparked in my head. A desperate, risky one. I made an appointment with her. When I sat in her chair, getting my hair cut, it felt surreal. She was just talking normally, asking about my day. But inside, my stomach was churning. I waited until she was finished. Then I just spilled it. Told her everything. The look on her face confirmed everything I suspected. It made sense to her, too. She said her husband had been gone since Wednesday. Wednesday. I had moved out on Sunday. She had moved a married man in that following Wednesday. My house. Our house. It hadn't even been a week. The sheer audacity and speed of it was stomach-lurching. His wife then started telling me more. He wasn't just married, he was, according to her, an abusive alcoholic with a serious drug problem. My first thought, believe it or not, wasn't serves her right. It was for the boy. What was she doing bringing someone like that into his life? Into the home I'd helped build? I immediately confronted my ex about it. I told her what his wife had said, hoping maybe, just maybe, she'd see the danger. But she just blew it off. Said his wife was crazy, and that I was just being an obsessive ex. Even when his wife sent me pictures, actual proof of his abuse and substance issues, my ex still refused to believe it. It wasn't about the truth for her. It was about maintaining her narrative. At that moment, I realized there was no reaching her. She had completely rewritten history in her mind. So, that's where I am now. Living in my buddy's basement. Trying to pick up the pieces of a life that felt completely ripped apart. This guy, this married, abusive alcoholic, just moved right into my old life. And it's like nothing even skipped a beat for her. It hurts. God. It hurts. I miss her. Or at least the woman I thought she was. And I miss the boy me son more than words can say. He was everything to me. And now he's just gone from my daily life. I made a promise to myself. Though, as hard as it is, no contact. I won't reach out. No matter how much I want to. I have to protect myself now. I just don't understand how someone can treat another person so poorly. Especially after all I did. All the love and support I poured into her and her son. Not that I ever regretted doing it for them. Not for a second. Right now, I'm just lost. How do you even begin to move forward from something like this? How do you cope with the betrayal, the lies, and the absolute destruction of a life you were building? And what about the boy? The reality of ever seeing him again feels incredibly slim. And that just breaks my heart. How do you mourn that kind of loss? Any advice on moving on? Especially when there's an innocent kid you love caught in the middle of it all. Would be really appreciated.